As the years pass, many people begin to doubt what they're capable of, often without realizing when the shift began. A small comment here, a difficult day there, and slowly the belief settles in, maybe I'm too old for this now. But age itself is rarely the real obstacle. It's the quiet habits of thinking that shape what we believe we can still do. Take Margaret, who once loved solving puzzles and learning new skills. Over time, she started telling herself she wasn't as sharp as before. Not because she tried and failed, but because she assumed decline was inevitable. That belief alone changed how she moved through her days. She avoided challenges, stayed in familiar routines, and stopped pushing her mind to stay active. The result wasn't aging, it was limitation. Negative self-belief works silently. It shrinks opportunities, reduces motivation, and makes everyday tasks feel heavier. When the mind stops expecting growth, the body follows. But the moment you start replacing, "I can't" with "I'll try," you reopen doors you thought were closed. Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about giving yourself permission to keep growing. Many older adults don't realize how much their eating habits shift over time. What begins as a quick snack for convenience can slowly turn into a daily routine. A cookie after lunch, a sweet tea in the afternoon, or packaged snacks during moments of boredom may feel harmless, even comforting. But inside the body, these choices create a cycle that quietly affects energy, mood, and long-term health. Consider Thomas, who enjoyed a small treat with his morning tea. Over the years, one treat became several, especially on days he felt tired or needed a little boost. He didn't notice how these foods were controlling his appetite, causing sharp sugar spikes followed by sudden drops in energy. He just knew he felt sluggish, less motivated, and increasingly dependent on another sugary fix to feel normal. Processed foods are designed to be addictive. They overstimulate taste receptors, make real foods feel less satisfying, and leave the body craving more. Over time, this leads to weight gain, inflammation, and reduced stamina, all of which make it harder to stay active and independent. But the solution isn't strict dieting. It starts with gentle swaps. Fruit instead of sweets, nuts instead of chips, herbal tea instead of sugary drinks. Small upgrades create steady improvements, helping your body regain balance and strength. Long periods of sitting often become part of daily life without anyone noticing. A comfortable chair, a familiar routine, and a bit of rest after meals can seem harmless. But when hours pass with little movement, the body begins to lose the strength and flexibility it once relied on. The change is subtle at first, a little stiffness in the knees, slower steps, or difficulty standing after sitting for too long. Over time, these small signals grow louder. Think about Eleanor, who enjoyed reading by the window every afternoon. What began as a relaxing habit turned into entire days spent in the same spot. She didn't realize how much her muscles were weakening until she noticed climbing stairs felt harder and her balance felt less steady. Nothing dramatic happened, it was simply the result of too little movement spread over months and years. Sitting for long stretches slows circulation, reduces joint mobility, and gradually decreases muscle strength. These changes make everyday activities feel more demanding and increase the risk of falls or injuries. But even gentle movement can interrupt this pattern. Standing every half hour, stretching your legs, or taking short indoor walks can wake up the muscles and keep the body responsive. Movement doesn't need to be strenuous. It just needs to be consistent. A little activity throughout the day protects your independence far more than most people realize. Emotional burdens often weigh more heavily than physical ones, especially as the years go by. Many people carry memories of past disagreements, disappointments, or painful moments, believing they've moved on simply because time has passed. But unhealed resentment doesn't disappear. It settles quietly, influencing mood, relationships, and even overall health. Take Gerald, who had a falling out with a close friend years ago. He rarely spoke about it, yet the unresolved tension lingered in his thoughts. Whenever something reminded him of that friendship, he felt a familiar tightness in his chest. He didn't realize how much emotional space the resentment was occupying until he finally allowed himself to reflect honestly. The moment he chose release over rumination, he felt lighter, calmer, and more open to new connections. Holding on to old hurts keeps the mind stuck in the past. It leads to stress, disrupted sleep, and a constant feeling of heaviness. These emotional patterns can slowly erode joy, making each day feel less fulfilling than it could be. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or excusing what happened. It means choosing peace for your own well-being. Writing down your feelings, talking with someone you trust, or simply acknowledging the emotions you've avoided can create a powerful shift. As people grow older, their social circles often change. Friends move away, routines shift, and energy levels vary from day to day. Without meaning to, many begin spending more time alone. At first, it feels peaceful, a bit of quiet, a bit of space. But slowly, the silence grows heavier, and the days begin to feel longer than they used to. Social withdrawal rarely happens suddenly. It happens gradually, almost invisibly. Consider Diane. She once enjoyed chatting with neighbors and meeting her book club every week. But after a few missed gatherings, she convinced herself people were too busy. Weeks passed, then months, and she realized she hadn't had a meaningful conversation in far too long. Her mood became duller, her motivation weaker, and her sense of purpose less clear. Not because anything was wrong with her, but because humans simply aren't built to thrive in isolation. Loneliness affects more than emotions. It influences memory, sleep quality, immune strength, and even heart health. Yet many people underestimate how much a simple conversation or shared activity can uplift the mind. Reconnection doesn't require large gatherings. A phone call, a walk with a neighbor, joining a small community group, or even chatting with someone at the market can brighten the entire day. Small moments of connection rebuild confidence and restore a sense of belonging. As we reach the end of this guide, take a moment to reflect on the habits we've explored. Each one may seem small on the surface, but together they have a powerful impact on physical health, emotional strength, and overall well-being. The most important thing to remember is that these habits don't change overnight. They shift gradually through small choices and gentle consistency. Even the tiniest adjustment can open the door to a better quality of life. Think about which habit speaks to you the most. Maybe it's paying closer attention to your sleep, listening to your body signals, reconnecting with others, or simply showing yourself more patience. Whatever it is, keep it in mind as you move through your daily routine. Change doesn't require perfection. It only requires awareness and steady effort. Your future is shaped by the efforts you make today. By staying mindful, staying curious, and staying engaged with your own well-being, you give yourself the best chance at a long, vibrant, fulfilling life.